Dexter Gauntlet from SweetSense.
There's nothing that 100 men or more could ever do.
Hello.
Rains down in Africa.
Now my life is complete. So my name is Dexter Gauntlet. I'm the co-founder and director of business development for SweetSense Inc. SweetSense provides real-time monitoring of water points in emerging markets in order to improve service delivery, reduce non-revenue water, and improve health impacts. The pain in the market is very strong. The market that we're talking about is the one that many of you in this room are working in. See, the problem is that when water projects are funded, is about $40 billion per year comes into in the form of grants, loans, contracts in order for private entities, for NGOs to install water projects. But these water projects, typically in the form of pumps that serve either rural communities or 10 to 200,000 people in peri-urban communities, are non-functional 30 to 50% of the time. Many of these projects fail in the first 18 months. These are studies from the UN and from USAID in Oxford. So the question becomes, how do we align this intent with actual impacts? So SweetSense comes in, and we provide the technical expertise in the form of sensors and the deep domain expertise in the water and health sectors to help transform this current infrastructure-focused paradigm to one more focused on actual outcomes, to more around improving service delivery. We're looking to close this loop. We do that by installing our sensors onto water pumps, again, serving between 10,000 and 200,000 people in places like in East Africa, where we're currently monitoring water points serving 1 million people. We do it by providing access to dashboards to local water service providers, mainly utilities, local government, donors, whoever is involved in installing these projects. And then we provide the implementation support in order to improve the operations and maintenance systems in order to increase revenue for those fledgling water utilities. We're really seeking to create a virtuous cycle where improved water service delivery increases revenue collection and therefore results in greater investment in that water infrastructure, and the cycle continues. Here's a peek at our dashboard of what our end users will use in order to dispatch people. So as you can see here, our sensors are monitoring a couple hundred sites here in northern Kenya as part of a very large project funded by USAID. And red means the water pump is broken. Green means it's working. We tell you how much water. Yellow means that there could be something wrong. We're working with blue chip partnerships with IBM Research, Oxford, London School of Hygiene and Tropical Medicine, Colorado University, Portland State University, in order to help us really quantify our impact. When we talk about the market opportunity, we're looking at about $140 billion that's needed in order to reach Sustainable Development Goal 6, which is universal access to safe water and sanitation. In addition to that, there's about a $2.8 billion a year need in annual operations and maintenance requirements. But that's a joke. That's not happening today. It's not going to happen if we continue along the same infrastructure-based paradigm. On top of all this, today there's $4 billion a year that is considered non-revenue water, which is basically revenue not collected by utilities as a result of leaky water infrastructure and inability to collect tariffs because of poor service delivery, right? Would anyone here pay for water if they only received it 4 to 6 months out of the year? No way. So we're dealing with a very systemic challenge here, but we're also gaining traction. We've been around for 5 years. We have significant contracts with AECOM, USAID, UNICEF, Millennium Water Alliance, and by the end of 2019, we'll be monitoring water points for more than 5 million people in East Africa alone. We also have a SBIR Phase 2 award for $1 million. That's going to help us reduce our costs and expand our business development presence and look at new partnerships around the connectivity piece of this, which I'd be happy to talk to you guys about after this. Swarm Technologies, Aris Communications, IBM Research are all very strategic partnerships for us, not only in the near term in terms of opening up new business opportunities, but also pathways to potential acquisition later. Like I mentioned, we're running a number of impact studies, and we've shown that use of sensors when teams are dispatched from the local water service provider, the utility, we can increase functionality up from 50% to over 90%. And again, as part of our NSF award for the SBIR, we're now working on predictive algorithms that can take that 90% and say that's not good enough. We're going to bring this up to 99 and 100%, where we can predict within 1 to 7 days when a water pump is exhibiting signs of failure, so you can preemptively treat the situation. This is what failed water projects look like. This is the challenge that we are trying to solve. I've got plenty more of these if you want me just to keep going here. In terms of competition, SweetSense is definitely playing a market maker role here. People don't even like to admit that this problem even exists, right? So we're out here doing the roadshow, trying to educate folks in DC, folks in the field, and we're actually gaining a lot of support from the right people. We're the only company who's providing the full suite, which is the sensor hardware, the software dashboard analytics piece, and the deep technical expertise of working in the water and health sector for more than 15 years on our team. Our revenue model of the future is $1 per day per site for real-time monitoring. We're going to sell this as a service where SweetSense will install, own, and operate the sensors, guaranteeing minimum uptime. And then we will add on additional premium add-on services around optimization of operations and maintenance models and other research kind of selling the data functions. Our team, led by Dr. Evan Thomas, who's a former NASA engineer, worked on remote life support systems for NASA, applying that kind of mindset into using data in the international development sector. We also have, he also started and sold another health and water-based social enterprise in the sector in Africa 5 or 6 years ago. Our field team is based primarily in East Africa, and our data analytics team, a couple of Berkeley PhDs in data analytics. Our board, we have an astronaut on our board, Ron Guerin, and Chris Ullum, who's a successful energy CEO. We really look forward to speaking more with you about this as we try to close the loop. Thank you so much.